it's Louise from welshbunnies.com here with my 5th Project Life video. Hope you like it. Here we are, this is week 5 of 2015 and I've got my photos printed out and so I'll look to see where I want to put them. Put this one here and then I think I'll just place that one. These are both from the same picture. I'll do this one. This one is a 3x4 size, but it's actually been printed out 4x6. I'll see what I can do with that. This is some 3x4s. So just put those there for a sec. Okay, so this is a week without as many pictures as normal. And so what I've done is, because really there's some pictures of Lizzie in her wearing little bunny ears. There's some pictures of Naomi helping me do the cooking. And there's some pictures of them asleep in the pram. Now, some of these photos didn't come out that well, and so I've added a cross process, which gives them particularly on the photos of Lizzie, where she's a little bunny. I've tried to make them look a bit, I think the cross process made them look a bit ethereal. Now, I'm going to cut this in half. And this is a 6x8 photo of Lizzie. It's going to sit like that in the folder. A nice big photo of her dressed up as a bunny. And I can show you, I might quickly upload a video with a screen capture of me using a graphic image manipulation program, sort of like a Photoshop program, to take this 6x8 photograph and turn it into 2 3x4 so I can do this. So I'll try and upload a video in the next few days about how you are able to use a 6x8 photos in your albums. And so this is a really nice big photo of Lizzie. And looking at this, I already know that I'm probably going to put some flower embellishment here and then stitch around the 6x8, so around this edge, and this edge here to bring it all together. And so let's quickly cut these up. And this photograph is of the snow. We don't get a lot of snow here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it down to a 3x4 and just use that. This should be the picture, but for some reason it's actually being printed out as a 4x6 because I probably forgot to turn it into a 3x4. So there we go, and you can still see the snow in this picture. Let's stick that here. This one here, or maybe this one here, and this one here. This is a copy of this one. I'm tempted to put it here and do some journaling. It's the same photo then twice in the same page, but I think that can look quite cool. Like having a repeat of the same photo. So this is what I'm going to go with. I already decided before I started that because of the cross process, it's a slightly greenish hue to these photographs, and so I'm like, this is slightly woodland quality to these photos. I actually got bunny rabbits here, so I'm going for green, and I'm going to match that with pink and purple. So I grabbed this paper stack, this 6x6 pad, because it's full of purples. That's a dark purple, and greens. So, and there's a purple and green little tiny floral print. I grabbed my green scraps, pink scraps. This is a sheet of paper I used a couple of weeks ago, and it's perfect for this because this is a sort of purpley blue with the pink and the green, so I might be able to find use for that. Some more scraps. And then I grabbed some 6x4 cards. some big scrapbooking cards that I can just slot in. And a little Hello Kitty. This was from a note paper that I bought on honeymoon in Japan, and I just put it through my Sizzix Big Shot with a 3x4 die to make this card, and I think I'm almost certainly going to be using that because of the cooking pictures that my daughter is doing here. So I'll probably be using this one. Some more 3x4 choices, and then I don't actually have any sort of the 3x4 Project Life cards like this in purple. I've got no Project Life cards in purple, and these two 3x4 pieces are just offcuts that I've trimmed down to be 3x4 on my strimmer. I don't know why that is. I haven't seen a Project Life collection with purple in it, which is a shame because purple is a really nice colour for Project Life for me. I never used to do 12x12 layouts on a purple background, but I do like to have it in Project Life. I got some little mini alphabets in pink, and then I'm going to be using these stickers, and I really like them. If you can see when I bring them up closer to the camera, they're like 3 different shades of pink: light, medium, and dark pink. And these are really nice, and I really like these because they enabled me to get past being so strict about alphabets having to be exactly matching and being quite perfectionist about that sort of thing, that sort of mixy matchy thing. I think that was that product and some others that were helped me get away from everything being matching and able to be more mix and match, which is quite fun now. So those are my supplies that I've already picked out. These are the pictures that I'm going to do. So what I'm going to, so I've got, I want to put a week card in here, pick a couple of these and do the embellishments. Now I'm just looking at this, and the first thing is I deliberately printed these out with a white border because I'm going to trim this off and put these both, I think, onto a pink background. Now I'm going to make them match. Yeah, I'm going to make them match. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And then I want to have some matching embellishments on here. So I'll put these through my trimmer just to get the edges off. I like to have, if I've got sort of 2 pictures from the same thing, and I do sometimes like to do matching embellishments on pictures like this. So I'll think about what supplies I have. There we go. And we are done on this. And then put those to the side for a moment so I can cut out this. Now I think I want to round the corners on these. So I will grab my corner rounder. So here we are. I've chopped the corners off of the photographs and the mats and put a matching mat on both of these photographs. I've decided that I'm going to run this through the sewing machine and put a line of stitching just along the edge of each of these photographs. But I'm going to pick out what embellishments I'm going to use with these anyway. So if I bring out this is my box of embellishments, and in the first tray we have wood veneers. On the second we have brads, and on the third we've got these badges. Now I know that somewhere in here I've got a little badge that says nap time. So I'm going to grab this one and then also grab a similar badge. So these are the same colour, the same pale pink. So I'm going to be putting one on to one card and one on to the other. So I can pop these back. And pop this out of the way. So once I've done the stitching on these cards, I can then pop these in the appropriate art. And what I might do is I might do a frilly border of I think I'm going to do a little bit of purple and a little bit of scalloped green, and a little bit of purple and scalloped green going down this edge. So what I'll do now is I'll cut out the scallops and grab my washi tape to find an appropriate matching colour, and then I can come back and show you I think I'm going to have to fiddle with the camera settings because a lot of this seems quite whited out, so I'll fiddle with the camera settings before the next time I do a video to see if I can make sure the video doesn't get so bleached out. So what I've picked is I've picked this purple border with this stitching along the edge, which will match with the stitching on the photographs from my sewing machine, and I'm going to place it like this, then with this tucked underneath, and then this on top. But that's all four. But I now know that I've got these embellishments all lined up for once I've finished those. So I know what embellishments I'm doing on these ones. And then do I want to have this here or not? I think I'm going to put this one to the side and think about that, whether I want to have a second copy in there. Because I might like to put a 3x4 card with the cooking on in here and have it on background of green, I think. I should have a 6x4 green. Yep, here we go. Here's a 6x4 green. Put this on here. And then a journaling card, maybe like this. There you go. And I happen to have, if I grab this bucket, I saw this when I was going through my stuff. Oh, here we go. This little Hello Kitty embellishment, so I'm probably going to put that on there. So I've cut it out. That's from a Hello Kitty magazine that I bought for Naomi at some point. I saw that and I thought that would be perfect for when I'm scrapping pictures of her helping. Now this is, I put a little note sticker on which says ephemera for the beginning of January. So I can just get rid of that. And for Christmas I bought my husband a CD of the soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy, which is one of his favourite films. He's watched it loads. And we've listened to it an absolute ton in the car. So I've just grabbed this as ephemera. And I'm just going to cut this out as a cut this out to size and stick it straight in here and then do a little bit of journaling on it. And you see here where it says the note just says ephemera beginning of January, and I didn't say that it was for a particular week because in case, and I do this with other things, in case I have a week where there's not as many photographs, like this week I actually only took about 10 photographs and they're all on here, having a bit of ephemera that sort of covers this whole period can be useful just to fill up the empty spaces. So I will keep ephemera that's not for a specific date or a specific week, but just for like a period of time. So maybe the kids doodling, or a picture that I've drawn for them, or that their dad's drawn for them, or like this. And I will stick it in a week where I don't have a lot of other stuff. So I'm probably going to put that there. And I'll just leave that there for just now and work on this. So I definitely want to round the corners on this card. Just use my corner rounder on this one. Now I'm thinking that this might not need any more embellishment for the reason that this Hello Kitty thing here is actually quite it's quite a big or the little picture here is actually quite busy. There's quite a lot going on, so I think I might just stick these down if I decide just how I want to stick them, and then do journaling on there. But it does feel a little bit empty up in this corner. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around the outside before I've stuck these down, then stick these on top, and then do journaling on here. So I know what I'm going to do with this one. This is another one that wants stitching. And with this one, because all the journaling for this photograph is going to be done here, I'm just going to cut out this little Miss Kitty and stick it here so it matches with the Hello Kitty there. Okay, so I know what I'm going to do there. So I want stitching on these. I'll work on this next. So I'm going to just take the staples out of this CD booklet. Just pop them out. And just maybe throwing all this away. The rest of it is just rubbish. And now I can just quickly string it along here. There we go. So now I'm left with this. Now I'm not going to bother checking whether it's acid proof or not, because when things are in Polly Pockets, I think it's less important. So I do scrapbook stuff that's not acid free, ephemera, some cardboard. For instance, quite a long time ago, I bought my daughter some Pocky, which is like a Japanese breadstick treat thing, and I don't think that was just cardboard, so I don't think that was acid free. But I just cut it down to shape and stuck it in the pocket, and it didn't really matter because it's not going to be damaging anything else on the page. So I want to have about this. I want to cut this out so it's got an equal border around the actual tape part of it. So just eyeball that. Yeah, that's about right. And then about the same here. And then about the same on the other side. There we go. And then I'm going to corner chomp. And I'm going to stick this one down definitely on purple, because there's not a lot of purple on the page. I'm not sure if this is 4. Is this 4? Yeah, that's 4. Okay, so it's by 4. I'll just grab this corner chomp it. Now I'm going to do a bit of journaling on this to just explain that this is a CD that I got Pete for Christmas and we've been listening to it a lot. But obviously, just looking at that on the mat, that does not work for me at all. It's a huge mat. I think I want to definitely have some white around the edges, so I'll just grab a piece of white. So first things first, before anything else, I will mat this onto some white. That's the first thing to do because I think that makes it stand out more. So stick this down on here. Hopefully. There we go. And so it's definitely coming to the end of its life, this trimmer blade. The edges are starting to get a little bit scrappy. Whoops. There we go. Now I've corner chomped the edge with this. Now if I put this here, what I can do is maybe have a look at a strip of this in the background. It matches the stripes that are on this mixtape, so that looks quite cool. It's kind of hard to tell if I think I'm gonna like that. I'll just pop that to the side there and put that there, and I'll see what washi tapes I've got lying around in the right colours. So here is green and here is pink. This is my pink and green boxes of washi tapes. Green. Right, here's a nice arrow shaped one. Here's a nice wood grain one in of the right sort of colour. Take this green, these greens, and then the pink. I've got this pink and green one that's got pink and green on it. It's a darker green than I've got on the rest of the page, but I think that'll be alright. And then I've got this pale pink. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross hatch up some washi tape on this picture. So I'm going to stick this down because I'm pretty sure I want this offset in the corner. Now I just go as the inspiration takes me. You know, stick it down. If I don't like how it's ended up, it's no big deal, because I can just no, I don't like how that looks, so I'll just peel that back. I think the pink on the purple not so good, so I'll just stick that one down. I've got one here that is sort of pink and dark pink, or maybe even a red on the back. See, that looks quite cool. Just going to stick that down. And if I don't like how this looks, I can just peel these washi. That's one of the joys of washi tape. If you haven't used it, it's very forgiving. You can just peel it off. Start again. I might just go like this. Sounds a bit crazy, but I'm just going to start layering washi tapes now. Actually, I think I'll just quickly peel this one off. Stick this one down. This nice pale pink one. Then lay that one over the top of that. And when I'm done, I'm just going to whip around the edge with some scissors to get the thing. And then this this green arrow one can go, oh whoops, slightly doing this work off the edge of the camera there, like a noob. Now I don't like how that looks because the two greens are really quite contrasting there. So what I'll do is I'll grab some of this sort of light green, and this is a nice vibrant green, so I think that ought to look fine. I'll actually go like that on it. There we go, just make sure that's in line. It's a nice hot green colour. And grab this one. This is a nice chevron print. See how I think it looks there. I want it sort of like a bit of purple there. Right, let's see how I think this looks now that it's all done. No, I just think that looks a bit messy. I'll try whipping off this one in case it's that. Okay, so if I peel off the green, that looks much better. So just remove all the green. I've got a matching pale pink in this and this one. So to get that cross hatch effect, I will quickly unpick the one that's going along the bottom. Back to there. Stick this here. And then roll that over the top. So then we've got a crosshatch because this fatter one's going over this one and the smaller one's going underneath. And then grab another small one and put it over the top. There we go. There we go. Now I'm much happier with how that looks. And I can just fold these over the edge. And this is how I work. I try things and then I'm just like, nope. And then I try and figure out why I don't like it. And so how I can fix it. Yeah, I like how that looks. Just down. So I can put all these washi tapes back in their box just to tidy up as I go along. I try not to get too untidy as I'm working, otherwise it gets difficult to find space to breathe with your work. So take that later. So there we go. And what I'll do now is I'll grab, if I've got like a scrap of green, or oh, here's a thing I could do. Could just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my detail scissors. I'm actually just going to cut out the documented label on this card, so just the dark green parts, and then see if it works well in there. And then I can save this white bit for doing a journaling card. So I'm just cutting out this tab from this 3x4 project card. I'm pretty sure this came from one of the Becky Higgins original core kits. So there we go. So if I just slide that in, a bit tricky working with this. Doesn't want to slide in behind this picture. Okay, so I'm going to cut off the end and just turn it into a tag. There we go. Snip them off. And now I'm just going to stick that in behind here. And that looks nice. It brings all the colours in, so we've got pink and purple and green on the same page. And it's just a nice little embellishment to go on there. So I'm going to stick that down. Now looking at it, it looks a little bit plain, so I know already that I'm going to want to put some other form of embellishment in beside it. Maybe a small star, which would be thematically appropriate as well, because it is an epic adventure that takes place in the stars. So I'm probably going to want a little star there, and I can grab and see what I have in stars. I just quickly have a look in my wood veneers. I can grab this little wood veneer star and place that. So overlapping all these elements. I think the easiest way to stick these down is to use my ATG gun. I just go to the end where the glue is, and I just stick my embellishment onto the end. You can see that there in the video camera. And then peel it off, and then it ends up with a load of stickiness sort of behind the star, if you can see that. Maybe not. And then I just fold all that in. And that works to really fix down wood veneers, which I otherwise find a bit tricky to adhere. So that's really stuck down now. And I really like how that looks. Also, a wood veneer is a good choice here because it matches the sort of woody tan colour of this piece is matched by the wood veneer colour of the star. As you can see there, it's nicely matching. Now I want to have some journaling on here, and I think I might just do it straight onto this strip of washi tape. And I'll do it quite small. Now, I had a big problem with my handwriting when I was first scrapbooking. I really did. I didn't like it at all. The two things that have helped me is I use a very fine pen, and this is a 0.1 pen, which has a very, very fine tip. And so I try to write, cursive joined up as well. and then I try to write too quickly. I try to write quite quickly because I find it tiring to be really concentrating on my handwriting or drawing out lines or anything. So I just do my best. And also, if I just grab a scrap of paper, if I can find one, to describe what I mean. So on the back of here, maybe if I bring this right up, rather than drawing my Y's with a curly end like that, I'll just bring that right up to the camera. There we are. With a curly end, I now draw them like this. And so, if I just bring that right up, I have a flat end. And I think it just makes my writing look more grown up. And I prefer it. So that's a tip for you there if you're wondering about how to improve your handwriting. I do the same with G's, all these low hanging things. I just try to make my writing slightly less rounded. I think it looks better for me personally, and it's just my experience of what's helped me like my handwriting more, so it might work for other people. So I bought this CD for Pete for Christmas. Now there's not enough journaling space on this this one strip, so I'm just going to go straight on to the next one. And I'm not happy to so happy to leave it like that, so I will continue journaling until both of these are full up. And I do that. If I feel like a space needs to be filled with journaling, I will pad out my journaling with other little details and things until I feel like the space that needs to be filled with journaling is so I tend to go with the space, not with the journaling. So I will make a story slightly longer than I intended or shorter than I intended if it's going to fill the space, because I prefer for the design and the look of things to be complete, and I'm not terrific at journaling anyway. I find it quite difficult to journal, so I just do the journaling that I can that fits in the space, and then that's enough. So just writing about what a wonderful soundtrack this is. It is really, really good. There we go. So I've finished the journaling on this. It's on the two strips to the right, and I'll bring in the board so you can see what that looks like. I'll leave that to dry. I used to, just on the topic of journaling, I used to worry a lot about journaling and like not doing it perfectly. But these days, I feel like the journaling is more of a suggestion to, or a prompt for my brain to remember the rest of the story. So I don't have to perfectly journal what happened or the event or the emotion, because if I just give my brain a bit of a nudge, my brain will remember what it is. Because I used to worry that my journaling had to perfectly encapsulate a moment or a memory, whereas actually I think for me now I'm much more casual about journaling, and I'm just trying to point in the right direction of, you know, so for the journaling on this card, well, here's Naomi doing some cooking with me. So I'll just write a little bit about that. I don't have to put down in perfect prose like a poem, you know, the memory, because the picture and just a nudge in the right direction. The journaling on here will remind me that, you know, we listened to this CD in the car. It's like all of January. We've listened to this soundtrack about 100 times so far, because we had to make a long journey in January, so we listened to it a lot. So yeah, the journaling doesn't have to be perfect. Now what I'm going to do now is I think I'm probably going to take away the cards that need stitching and stitch them. But before I do that, I'm going to pick out a flower embellishment for this, because I want the flower to be in this corner, to be underneath the stitching rather than on top of the stitching, and then I'll do all the stitching. Now sometimes I leave the stitching right for the very end, which is eminently sensible because I might decide that another card needs stitching, but I want to carry on with some of these cards, so they need to be stitched before I can move on with them. So if I decide I want another card, I will probably stitching, I'll probably just not bother. So I'm pretty much saying that there won't be any more stitching. Now this pink is too purpley, I think. I want a more hot pink than this pink is too cool, if you can say that about the colour pink. It's too cool compared to this pink, which is very warm, and I want it to be a warm pink because this picture is quite cool already. It's quite cool colours, so I want the pink to draw out the warmth in the colour rather than the pink I choose to accentuate the fact. There we go. This is a nice one. So I'm gonna stick this down, and I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive in the middle because I'll be stitching around this, and I don't want the glue to gum up my machine. And then with these little bits here, these little tabs and tags and things, once I've finished doing the gluing, just put that into the camera, I will for these little bits here, I'll glue them down with some glue once it's been sewn on. So I stick that right in the corner. Put this here so you can see. Yeah, I definitely think the video is getting a bit bleached out by the light, so I will work on my video settings. Well, I say I'll get my husband to help me figure out how to improve the video settings so that the colours come through more and it's a bit easier to see on my next, when I record my next video. So there we go. There we are. Now I'm going to take all of the cards that I've decided need to be stitched, which is these ones to stitch around here, the edges of this one, and the background of this one just around the edge before I stick these down onto it. So I will go and do the stitching on these, bring them back, and then we can carry on. So here we are, and we finished all the stitching. I've stitched around the outside of this card, the same with these cards, and I've stitched around all the outside of these cards, and you can see there that if I bring this right up, that it matches, and then it brings it all together nicely. Now this has been stuck down sort of the middle of the flower, and it's been stitched down find the camera on the edge. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up the bottom with the camera's having difficulty finding focus. I'm going to stick these down on the bottom using some of these foam adhesive things that they create dimension, and so the rose will be flat in the corner but raised as it goes into the picture, and I think, pretty sure that'll create some nice dimension. So just peel the backing of these foam sticky dimensional thingies. They've probably got a proper name and I just don't know it. Stick it down. So there we go. And it looks like that. Nice bit of dimension. I'm going to call that done because I don't want too much detail on this picture, because I want this detail, the picture, to sort of stand on its own. There we go. Then we've got this picture here, it turned fine to leave as is. Now the next picture, when I was I cut it out and stuck down Miss Kitty on this photo, and I went through my things and I picked out these two embellishments. They are this is one of these shaped paper clips, and this is just a snowflake brad, and this snowflake one's going to go on here to go with the journaling about it snowing, and then this if I can figure out how to ever use these, it's going to go on here, so pointing the journaling towards the picture that it's referring to, so that'll go like that. Just nudge this up an inch. Oh, a little squidge. Now I really prefer how this looks. So with the stitching on the edge now, it looks much better to my mind, less plain. Right, so let us stick these down. Stick these down like this. And on this page. This one can go first and this one goes on top. There we go. Just snip off the excess at the bottom. There you go. Let's move up this slightly. There we go, and I'll do journaling on this card. Now these two are the ones I want to finish next. Now I knew that once I'd finished them I was going to be using these buttons and these scalloped pieces and this. Now going to stick down, I think I'll just use this glue. Stick this down, just add a little bit of glue. I'm going to be running this just along here. There we go. And then this is self-adhesive ribbon. I'll run that over the top. There we go, just make sure that it's all evenly placed. Snip off the excess. And then stick the cute sticker down here. And now we'll call that one done. And then with this one, the plan is to have it run like here, or maybe even the other way around. I'll see what I feel. I'll see what I think I look like, because I might want the scallops to face into the photograph on this one rather than out of it. But I'll see how I think it looks. That's some done. There we go. At least it's not quite even. To remember to do all my work in front of the camera. There we go. I think that looks nice. I think it looks good off the edge. Now I will trim this and stick down, just peel the backing off this one. And these two pictures now have matching embellishments, but on different angles, and I think that looks really cute. They both are close-ups from this photograph where they both fell asleep in the pram at the same time on the way home, which was very sweet. I'd been walking them through the park and they both fell asleep in the pram, which is not like them. They're normally quite tricky to get to sleep, my little ones, but they do have their nap time every day. Regular as clockwork, but on this day they fell asleep before that. So put this one here and this one here. Now what's left to do now is filling out this embellishment cluster on here. So I know I want to do this. Now so this one is in here. Now I want to do some journaling on this card, some journaling on this card. These cards are fine. Now if I'm looking at this, I want some purple here and some green here, and I want the week page to be here. So I'm going to grab my 3x4 cards, and here we go, Love Life, and I want the green to be here. So I can just put that in there, and that will fill out that space. And now, as I said, I don't have any purple ones, so I'll grab this and I'll be deciding what embellishment to stick on there. So let's grab these ones, because these are the ones we'll be working on. And then all that's left is the week one. This is coming together nicely. Although I am a really big fan of green and pink and purple together. So I have this little scrap, which I think will work nicely on here. Just going to stick that straight down actually, because I like how that looks. And now I had a little scrap of paper somewhere off the back. Here's the bottom half of the 3x4 card that I cut the little documented tab out of. So there we are. So I'll just grab my label punch and chop a piece out of that. And this has got a very, very subtle grey grid pattern that you can hardly see, but it's just a nice bit of detail. I'll stick that down here. Stick that down on there, and this here, like that. And I actually think I want this to be pink, so I'll just put this here instead. And I'll grab a piece of pink paper. Now it needs to be pale pink. And here's just a plain piece of cardstock. Just chop this right off at the edge. There we go. For my scrap basket there. I can stick this down. Yep, that looks better to my eye. And it means that all three colours are on that card, which is nice. And then this isn't going to be covered over, so I can use my little, if I can track it down amongst all my supplies. Well, I was going to use my tiny attacher, but oh, there it is. Right at the back of my drawer. I've got a little drawer with my main tools in it. I've got a little tiny attacher on there, and stick that there. Now this is a brad, so I'm just going to mark and then just punch a hole with this where I want it to go. And this is easier if you've got like a foam pad behind it or something that I didn't have one to hand. There we go. This brad nicely accentuates the snow in the picture, this little snowflake brad. There we go, if you can see the snow in the picture. This is a lot of snow. It didn't lie, and we had no lying snow. You wouldn't have told it was snow, that it had snowed about 2 minutes after it finished. It just all melted away instantly. But here in Wales, that's pretty exciting just to have any sort of snow. So do a little bit of journaling on it here. There we go, just a little bit of journaling on that card, and then we can call that card done. And then on this card, stick this one down. I could just, using this scrap, just cut it, put a little bit sticky on it, and then just stick it underneath here. There we go, just to add a little bit of colour. Now what I'm going to do now is, I think, want an embellishment on here. But I think I might grab something that I don't too often use these days on Project Life layouts, which is gemstones. So I'll just grab 3 purple gemstones, I reckon, and stick them on the edge of this label, just to add a little bit more detail and excitement, or you know, just stick these down. If I can get them to stick, that is. There we go. Bring that to the camera. You can see just the 3 little gemstones on there. These to the side, and then I can just journal on this card. we go, a little bit of journaling on this one, and we can call that one done. Now I'm going to have a think about what I want to do on this 3x4 purple card, and we bring this back. So all that's left is this purple card, and then what we want to do with the week title card. And I know that I'm using pink lettering, and I think there's not so much green, so I might have it on a green background, pink lettering, and some kind of purple embellishment. And I will get stuff together and then come back and we can finish up this week. So what I've decided on this one is that I want to put a sentiment in the center here, so some little thing, and then surround it by circles. So a circle of green and then a circle of pink. So what I'm going to do is, here are my green scraps and my pink scraps, and I'm going to run these through my Sizzix to make these circular hoop pieces, and then I can show you what it looks like in a sec. Here we are. I cut out so hoops and circles in green, pink and purple, because what I realized as I was cutting them out is that I would think it would be really fun to have the title card be in these different colours with the week written on, so that'd be cool. So I cut out a whole load of shapes to do the green title card. But here we are with this one, and I want to stick down this. So first off, this needs its corners rounding. So just quickly round the corners on these bits. Glue, and it's going to be like this. Maybe even stick the purple one around on top of that. Or actually take the pink one and then the larger green one. There we go. That's how I want that it should look. There we go. So now I'm going to stick these two down. So just using this glue, just go right around the edge. And I will keep any offcuts for the week card. So I can use it on that. So let's orient this one to be right in the center of the card. So that looks even. Whoops. Just really need to get a new one of these because it's running low on glue. There we go. And trim off the edges. And even though it's a tiny little scrap, I could just use this on an edge if I wanted to. There we go. Then let's grab the pink. Now actually I'll use this glue instead, since that glue is really on its last legs. I have to order some more. Oh, whoops. And then stick this center of that. See, this one, just I'm going to add some of this glue to it because it's just not adhering to the page. Just match it up there. Here we go. And now I want not sure, I think maybe having this in the middle would help a bit. This doesn't look right to me. There's something about this that just looks a bit too plain. I'll try using the sentiment in the middle. If I can find where I put the sentiment I had picked. I decided on one of these. Something like this. Put that in the middle. This one. Okay. I have an idea for what I want to do. So when I reach this point and something's just not looking right to me, I'm perfectly happy just to go tear it up, you know, just get rid of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make this work. So I'm going to go, and my idea is I'm going to stick this purple piece onto foam dots to make it come out. But in the background, I'm going to do a whole bunch of different lines. So I will use this white pen, and this is this Uniball Signo brand pen. Uniball Signo Broad, and it's a really, really great white pen. It really has a lot of white. You can really see the contrast there on the camera. And then I'm just gonna carry on doing this, and because I don't need to worry about the center actually, so I can just like this, because it just looked too plain. There we go. So I'm just gonna do this sort of all the way around until I feel like there's enough. Now this might not work as a fix for what I think is wrong with this page. It very well might not work. It might just still be too plain or not what I'm looking for. But I'm always happy to try some crazy fix. Or you know, I'll try this out. See if I like how it looks. See, that looks way better to me, but I would like to have extra ones coming out still, so I'll just carry on adding in the lines until I'm happy with it. There we go, and just add in lines in between here. So now I'm just adding the lines in between them, not worrying about doing it symmetrically so much. Now I think I'm going to like how this looks, because I think it looked good sort of halfway through the process. Almost done now. So I'm going to raise the central purple circle on foam dots. So looks like it needs to. There we go. Stick one there. Right, and I'll call that done. And now I grab my foam dots from earlier, stick them on the back of this piece. Peel them off. So it's a little bit of a fiddly affair. And then I can stick the sentiments, the sticker I've chosen, onto it. And we shall stick this down like that. There we go. Now I much prefer how that looks from how it was looking, and then the good best day ever. I think So Much Love is what we're going to go with, because it's right next to a picture of Lizzie as a bunny, which is so much love for that picture. So there we go. Now we can call this one done. Put it in the on the thing, and now it's the final card. This is the week card, so I'm just gonna same old, round around. And now I'm looking to add. Now I'll grab my lettering stickers, so I've got them to hand. And now I can just dot these around, stick them down like that maybe. And then I think I might grab a strip of maybe white here to write week 4 in. So what I'm going to do now is Just gonna stick these down because otherwise you'll see me just fiddling for ages. I'm gonna stick these down and then I'll finish up this card with the lettering, the date stamp, and then I can show you the whole finished week. So here we are. I have finished the title card. Just bring that up. I used the circles and I fiddle-faddled with it quite a bit. You know, a bit fiddling with it to try and get the circles. And then with this, that is this week done. There we go. And I'm just going to look to see if there's anything else I think needs adding. No, I'm happy with how that's... Oh, apart from the journaling on here, I'm happy with how that is all looking. And I really like the colour scheme. I like how I was able to put in this piece of ephemera, and I really, really like this big picture of my Lizzie as a bunny. Now, I'm going to be uploading a video of how to do this 6x8, hopefully in the next few days. But other than that, I'm going to call this week done. That's it for this week. Hope you liked it. I was really pleased with how it came out, especially the colour scheme and that really big photo. I will be uploading, hopefully in the next few days, a tutorial on how to use a 6x8 photo in Project Life. And you can check me out until then on my website welshbunnies.com. Find me on Facebook or Twitter, or you can watch some of my earlier videos. Thanks.